Commission meeting, June 14, 2023. The time is now 7:11. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Bass. Here. Vice Mayor Irvin. Here. Commissioner Kelly.
Present.
Commissioner Williams. Here. Mayor Taylor.
Here. Commissioner Kelly, can you do our invocation, please?
Eternal God, our Father, we thank you for all of your many blessings. We thank you for this day. We thank you, God, for the city, every resident, every business owner, as we come together tonight, who realize, oh God, with this unity, there is strength. Continue to bless this city. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, do we have any awards, proclamations, or acknowledgements at this time?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we do have a presentation by the HR Director, and is a presentation of graduate children of city employees.
Okay. Madam HR Director, you have the floor.
Good night, everyone. School's out and summer is here. And with that being said, I am here to give two presentations today, but we're starting with the graduating class of 2023. The first is being with the graduation ceremony that we're going to do right now, highlighting the students that are graduating from the various educational levels of the city of Opa-locka's employees. I apologize if I mispronounce somebody's name. So the first graduate will be Christian Prince Jordan from Rainbow Park Elementary Pre-K, employee Tanglier Parker, and from the police department. And their certificates for the graduates, and the employees can come and pick up the graduate certificates, or if the child is here, they can come up to the podium and collect it. Okay. The next is Himani Burns from Beacon College Prep School, employee Tanglier Parker, police department. Major Burns, Beacon College Prep School, employee Tanglier Park, police department. Jawan Johnson, Dade Christian School, employee Shemeka Lawson, city manager's office. Namaria Dawson, William Turner Technical School, employee Ashley Walker, city manager's office. Anthony Arnold, University of Central Florida, employee Joanna Flores, city clerk's office.
You excited?
We have Ann Thorne Arnold, Nova Southeastern University, employee Joanna Flores, city clerk's office.
Yes.
And that concludes the graduates from the city of Opa-locka. I'll be back later. Have a good night.
Okay. So shout out to the city of Opa-locka class of 2023. Parents, you did an awesome job this year, and we thank you, and kudos to you. All right, so we're getting ready to go into our approval of the consent agenda. Do we have any pulls, deferrals, or deletions on the consent agenda? Okay,
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly.
I want to, I don't know, I can't hear if this mic is on or not. 2, 5, and 6.
Okay, anyone else? All right,
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Williams.
yes, I'm actually going to pull 6 so that I can ensure that Pro Champs is actually here in the meeting.
So you're pulling it off the agenda.
Yes.
Okay, so you're deferring it. All right. So 6 is being deferred, 2 and 5 have been pulled. All right,
Yes.
yeah, number 6. All right, can we have an approval of tonight's agenda?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Bass,
Second,
second by Commissioner Williams. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner
Wait,
Williams.
one second. I believe there is one add-on item, 14.
Mr. Mayor,
we-
we're on the consent agenda.
We're doing the consent, okay,
Yes.
because I said approval of agenda. Okay, that's fine. Go ahead.
No, it's the next one.
Got
Next item. Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
okay. So now we're doing the approval of the agenda, right?
That is correct, Mr.
Okay,
Mayor.
so here,
We do have, and Commissioner Williams can correct me if I am wrong, but there has been a request to defer 16B1 to the next regular commission meeting of June 28, 2023. This is Commissioner Williams' item, so I just want to confirm that this item is being deferred.
no, so you're deferring both, Commissioner Williams?
Yes,
Okay,
it's both items.
okay,
Okay, and we do have a request to amend the agenda. This item would be included as 14-1 under new items. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka awarding 4 $1,000 scholarships through the City of Opa-locka Educational Scholarship Program, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. This item is sponsored by the interim city manager.
Mr. Manager, can you state the emergency nature of this item, please?
Absolutely. We have done the work. The Community Relations Board has made the selections and we're ready to make the awards. We only ask that the commission amend this item to $1,250 each so that we can utilize the entire $5,000 that's been allotted, as we only have 4 candidates.
Okay,
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Williams,
okay, I would like to make an amendment to the.
What?
re-
we're voting to add it to the agenda.
Oh,
And then once we get there, then
No problem.
we'll do a friendly amendment. All right, so Madam Clerk,
I need a motion in a second.
a motion
motion to move it.
moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Kelly. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
okay. And we're going to approval of, I'm sorry. Can we get a motion to move 14-1 to after the consent agenda?
Move it.
Second.
So moved by Commissioner Kelly, second by Commissioner Bass. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0. Okay. Oh,
I said that wrong. I'm sorry. We have to take that vote back. Because I wanted it after citizens forum. I'm sorry. Not consent agenda. So
Okay.
I need a motion to amend the last vote and then we'll vote.
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Kelly.
Second.
Second by Williams. Madam Clerk, roll call to amend the last vote.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes
Okay.
5-0.
So now I need a motion to move 14-1 to after citizens forum.
Move it.
Moved by
Second.
Commissioner Kelly, second by Commissioner Bass. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
Move it.
Moved by Vice Mayor Irvin,
Second.
second by Commissioner Williams. Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, so approval of our minutes for the regular commission meeting, May 10, 2023. Can I get a
Move it.
motion? Moved by Commissioner Kelly,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes. Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, approval of the minutes from the special commission meeting, May 17, 2000. Commissioner Kelly,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Bass. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, and I don't think we have any District 1 or District 2 commissioner reports. So we can go down to our public presentation from our District 35 State Senator Chevron Jones, who's not here, but in his place, we have his Chief of Staff, Mr. Joe Olasak. Got it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Commission, for having us here tonight. Unfortunately, Senator Jones could not make it last minute, but he does look forward to joining you soon. I just want to take a quick moment to introduce myself to anybody that I haven't had the privilege of meeting yet. My name is Joe Lexak. I am the Chief of Staff to Senator Chevron Jones. And I would also like to introduce Kai Garrow in the back here, who this is his third day on the job. And so he will be joining Senator Jones and myself up in Tallahassee. If there's anything that our office can do to help you as the commission or anyone in this crowd, please do not hesitate to reach out. We're located right on 183rd in Miami Gardens. Thank you so much, Commission. Thank you for having us tonight. I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Mr. Joe. We're gonna go into our citizens forum. Madam Clerk, can you please state for the record the participation, you know what I'm saying? It's a long day.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening. City of Opa-locka Commission meetings are held in person at the Opa-locka Municipal Complex, City Commission Chambers, 780 Fisherman Street, 3rd floor, Opa-locka, Florida. Members of the public wishing to address the commission may do so in person or virtually. Those persons wishing to participate virtually should register prior to the scheduled meeting time on the city's website at www.opalockafl.gov. When speaking before the commission, please make sure to give your full name and address for the record. There is a 3-minute time limit for public comments. Please adhere to the decorum policy, which is a part of the commission meeting agenda. City Commission meetings are aired through live stream at www.youtube.com/user/City of Opa-locka. And Mr. Mayor, we do have one individual who has registered to speak virtually. His name is Danny Isof. And I apologize if I'm saying the last name wrong, but we do have one person. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, I'm being told that he has not joined, so.
Okay, all right. Citizens forum is open. Join the podium to my left.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and all the commission and everyone in their prospective places. My name is Pastor Gregory Thompson. I pastor New Harvest Church, 12145 Northwest 27th Avenue. I'm also the president of the African American Council of Christian Clergy. And I'm here tonight on behalf of Captain Rogers, Alvin Rogers, who I believe, in my humble opinion, was wrongfully terminated. His termination letter cites allegations of misconduct and conduct of becoming a city employee. However, he was never afforded any due process before being blindsided with a termination. Captain Rogers was a dedicated member of the police department for approximately 9 years. He was appointed to the position of corporal in 2016 and was promoted to sergeant in 2019. In 2021, he was appointed to the position of captain. In this command staff, he was the administration captain, where he oversaw the department budget, payroll, personnel, fleet, off-duty, property and evidence, records, communication, school crossing guard, traffic unit, and the community policing unit. He worked with the community partners to bring events such as back-to-school giveaways, gun buybacks, shop with the cop, community health fair, and grocery giveaways, and the autism support walks, to name a few. Captain Rogers is often the first to arrive in the morning, last to leave in the evening, and has never called out sick during his entire career here. Yes, the captain had perfect attendance. Within 2 months of his promotion to captain, Alvin Rogers enrolled in graduate school at St. Thomas University, earning a master's degree in criminal justice with honors. He is currently enrolled in the Southern Police Institute Command Officers Development Course, which is a flagship educational program for mid to upper level law enforcement managers. He also aspires one day to attend the prestigious FBI National Academy. Captain Rogers worked harmoniously with every department head in this city. He always worked closely with citizens, business owners, and local school officials to address any issues or concerns they may have had. His conduct, he always conducted himself professionally with honor and integrity in an attempt to help the city of Miami and the Opa-locka Police Department to fulfill their potential. So I'm here wanting to put this on record and to say that I believe the city did not afford him the due process that he should have been afforded. He has no idea why he's been terminated. And I'm here representing the African American Council of Christian Clergy. And I just want the commission, I want the mayor and the vice mayor to look into this, because we're dealing with people's livelihoods. And I never liked puppets, because I could see the string and I could see the puppet master. No department head should have a puppet master over them, dictating them how to run their department. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor. Citizens Forum is still open.
Brian Dennis, address 2140 York Street. I'm going to preface my comments because of something that I just spoke with the president about. But something is shady that's going on in the police department. To not afford a man due process with just a blindsided firing at the end of the day, something is wrong. Something is terribly amiss. That press conference, as I sat and watched that press conference with former Chief Israel, it looked as if it was a firing. It has the smell of a firing. And let me say this. In 2 weeks that he was out, the police department was in shambles. We have people getting laid off, quitting their jobs and being fired. We have a series of officers that have left this department within 1 year. Let alone the case of one Sergeant Steele is now coming back to bite the city. I want you all to think about this. For something that was running so smoothly, all of a sudden went in shambles. The one thing that we hadn't talked about was the police department. Now, let me preface my comments. Opa-locka is the third city, is the third smallest city. Opa-locka is the third city, number 3 in the state of Florida in crime. Number 3 in the state of Florida in crime, but yet it was touted that since we had Chief Israel, that crime was down 30%. Do the math on a national average. If we're number 3 in crime on a national stage, but crime has went down at 30% since we had the chief, then what was it? Why was the job so bad? Things need to be addressed in that police department. For some odd reason, it looks like the same thing that happened when Pate was here is continuously going on now that we got a new manager. I'm down with everybody. But business first. The city come first. Captain Rogers, Chief, Alvarado quitting. And it seemed like everybody that was connected to Sergeant Steele's case is quitting. But here's the one thing that I know about Captain Rogers. All he did was follow orders because he had the best writing pen outside of the chief in the police department.
Citizens Forum is still open.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Yesenia Pantaleon. I am the owner of President Tires and Auto Service. We're located at 13801 and 13821 Northwest Avenue, Northwest 27th Avenue, Opa-locka, Florida 33054. We purchased Porter Locksmith 4 months ago and were approved for the business license. But we were put a limitation reading all work must be performed inside a wholly enclosed building. We have been on meetings trying to find a solution. We have not had any success.
Owner President Tires. Owner President Tires and Auto Service, 13801, 13821. We want to see how we can help this issue about it. We do large vehicle. We've been working outside in the old building, now in the new building that we cannot work. We got Amazon. We do lawnmower trailer. It's no way we can bring these trailers inside the building to do the tires. And I don't understand why it's Porter's before just cut the key inside and work outside and the door handles and the ignition switch and everything. Now that we switch and we next other in 3 feet, we can do service, and the other 3 feet we cannot do service. We need somebody to pay attention about that, because it's been 4 months that we want it open and running and try to get a solution. And we've been coming, and no answer. We got other business, the rent location, they working outside all time, and they working outside, nobody tell anything. We fix the building, we fix the location, we do everything to look great, to look better. I say in the front, Opa-locka is the city of the opportunity. We need opportunity. We've been 6 years in Opa-locka, and I don't see why. If it's a new building, this big, create high queue, all that kind of stuff that you can bring all the Sprinter, Mercedes-Benz vans or Transit vans. But that's an old building. It's no way everything we can bring it inside. Thank you.
Thank you all. Citizens Forum is still open.
Rose Titus, 1101 Dunad Avenue. Honorable Mayor Taylor, and members of the City Commission, I humbly stand before you as members of the Opa-locka City Commission and not members of the CRA Board, as I did last night. And I personally want to thank you for renaming the Opa-locka Butterfly Garden to Rose Titus Prayer Garden. I want to additionally commend you for your submission to the Holy Spirit, because He placed it on your hearts to initiate and support this project. This was God's way of blessing me for nearly 50 years of praying in and for the city of Opa-locka. When I was hired in 1976 as Opa-locka's first African-American city clerk, Commissioner Irvin, you were 8 years old. Commissioner Bass, you were 8 years old. Commissioner Williams, you were 1 year old. Commissioner Kelly, you were 14 years old. And Mayor Taylor, you weren't even born. None of you had any knowledge of the work in this community. The work that I had done for God to pray, and I shouldn't say the word, the promise I made to God back then that I would work and pray in this community until the change came. None of you knew how God had used me to organize noonday prayer in the commission chambers for citizens, church members, employees, just anyone who wanted to attend and pray for a better community. None of you knew the lunchtime Bible studies held in the lunchroom in the historical city hall for anyone that wanted to attend. None of you knew of the live nativity scenes that were produced on the grounds of the historical city hall at Christmas. None of you knew of the first Gospel in the Park that I organized in Shabande Park. None of you knew of the evangelistic movies shown on the weekends at the Blues and the 22nd Avenue Apartments, and the evangelistic festivals that were strategically planned and held in the Triangle. The list goes on, but I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to encourage you to continue to hearken to the voice of God and not be persuaded by men, whereby you forfeit the will of God, where you forfeit the timing of God. The city of Opa-locka has 3 or 4 parks under the Parks and Recreation Department.
Commissioner Titus.
They were created to aesthetically enhance the city and provide recreation for its residents. The prayer garden was created to aesthetically enhance one of the gateways into the city and provide not recreation, but solitude, meditation, and peace. When you desire to have a barbecue, a party, or a family form of recreation, you go to any one of the other parks designed for that purpose. When you want solitude and a place where you can speak to God and he can speak to you,
Yes,
when you
ma'am.
desire to thank him for his existence and what he's doing in our city, the prayer garden is the place to go. The prayer garden is there for that purpose. There is a time and a season for everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Titus, and thank you for your service. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Citizens Forum is still open. Hearing none, seeing none, Citizens Forum is closed.
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly.
thank you. I never like to have citizens come up and we don't acknowledge their concerns, so we did hear them. The manager heard them, and I assure you we will all probably do our due diligence in following up on those concerns that were raised. Of course, Commissioner Titus, I wasn't going to say I remember some of those things. I was young, but I do remember some of those things because my mom attended some of them, but that'll really show my age. But I do thank you for your service. I want to take a moment to let my colleagues know that in accordance with section 4.2 of the city's charter, I'll be bringing a resolution to make an inquiry of the city manager to update the city commission on what is happening with payouts for leave when employees leave the city. I think all of us received a while back an email from a former employee pertaining to a payout. And while I don't know what others know, I feel that I'm completely in the dark. So I'll be bringing back a resolution inquiring about this issue and possibly other personnel matters. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
No problem, Commissioner Kelly. And well, he said it all. Madam Attorney, 14-1.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, awarding 4 $1,000 scholarships through the City of Opa-locka's Educational Scholarship Program, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date.
Can I get a motion?
And excuse me, this is sponsored by the city manager.
Moved by Commissioner Kelly,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor Irvin. Mr. Manager, can you present this item? Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just having some consternation with my assistant city manager. My apologies. We are very excited to bring this forward in support of your resolution to make this an active program annually. We have worked with the Community Relations Board to select 4 candidates, and we are prepared to honor those candidates tonight as they are all present. We only recommend that the commission amend from $1,000 each to $1,250 so that we will expend the total amount allotted for this scholarship program.
Okay, and I believe that Commissioner Williams wanted to sponsor a friendly
Okay,
amendment.
yes, I make a friendly amendment to increase the scholarship from 1,000 to $1,250.
All right, can I get a
Move it.
second?
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor. Madam Clerk, we're gonna vote on the motion. I mean, the amendment, I'm sorry.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was there discussion on this item? I do apologize. Okay, go ahead.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion on the amendment passes 5-0.
okay, and we can call the question now.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
okay, and a point of privilege, let's present while we're here now, while the residents are here, to them. Madam Manager, are you ready? Okay. So if my colleagues would join us down on the floor. Okay, so as our residents are aware, our city tries to give a scholarship, well, not tries, gives a scholarship every year to residents or students, graduating students in our community. And this year, we opened it up to 5 students, but we only received 4. And we know that the students are here tonight. And I see that they added some extra change on the check. So the first one is to Mr. Corey Lester. Okay, and Commissioner Williams wants you to say what school you're graduating from and what school you're going to. She's a principal. That's the administrator.
I graduated from William H. Turner Technical High School, and I will be going to Florida International University.
I told him, I said, I have to do this one since she is my student. I would like to present this check to Maya Postel. And not only is she one of the, yes, a bull. I don't want no smoke though. No smoke in here. I'll let her say that. I didn't want to say it, but I got. But I did want to say that Maya Postel, first of all, what number were you? 1, 2, 4? 4th in our graduating class. She graduated from Opa-locka, graduated with her AA degree, okay? Her awards and scholarships are extensive, so much so that she was highlighted at our graduation. And she also is a spoken word artist. And when I say absolutely amazing spoken word artist, so I'm just gonna, for you, Maya.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Again,
Again, I am a recent graduate of Miami Northwestern Senior High School and Miami-Dade College, and I will be attending Florida State University. And I graduated with a 4.9 GPA from Northwestern and a 3.9 from Miami-Dade College.
Zachariah Davis.
Good evening. I graduated from Miami Miami Norland Senior High School. And I'm going to Jackson State University.
If I mess this name up, shoot me. Denasia. Denasia? Close enough. Exactly. All she wants is her check. Oh, Denasia Franklin.
Okay, my name is Denasia Franklin. I graduated from Norland, Miami Norland Senior High School, and I'll be attending the University of Florida.
So again, congratulations to the Opa-locka class of 2023. Thank you for your hard work and dedication in this community. Parents, we want a quick picture, then we're gonna move on. Come on. Come on, parents.
I get the background.
So congratulations again to the students, but most of all, congratulations to the parents.
Yes.
To the parents. Shout out to the
Yes.
parents.
Yes. Sure.
So, Madam Attorney, 12-2.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, directing the interim city manager to update the citywide hurricane readiness plan, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by Mayor Taylor.
Can I get a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Bass.
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Irvin. This is my item, so I'll present it. Pretty much this item is here for us to, one, ask the manager to update the hurricane plan, as well as to ensure that every year our city is proactive and ready prior to hurricane season, which is June 1st of every year. So that's why you see this resolution before us. I know it was pulled, so we can open up the floor for discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner Kelly.
Thank you. I pulled the item. Of course, we all are aware we're in hurricane season, and I want to make it clear. I'd asked about this hurricane preparedness back in an email on June the 2nd, because we had had a tremendous amount of rain that day, and I asked about the gutters being cleaned, trees, et cetera, in preparation for hurricane season that was starting. I didn't get a response from the manager's office, so I'm glad to see that you brought the item forward. I do have a question regarding some of the agreements, including the housing agreement that's listed in here with Now Gardens for people who may be displaced. Can you tell me how many units that would be, or how would that process work?
Okay, that process, I'm gonna yield to the city manager on that question. Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's something that we'd have to look at. We actually did update the hurricane preparedness plan and have a presentation ready to go tonight if time affords. If not, we will bring it back to the next commission meeting. Should the commission have any questions, we will certainly follow up with that. And as for the email received on June 2nd, an email was sent back to the clerk's office that a presentation was being prepared on this item. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Manager. The question, he wanted to know how many residents we feel that will be displaced and what does that process look like?
Again, that specific detail is in a presentation that was going to be presented to the entire commission. I don't have that information at hand, sir.
Okay, all right, well, I'll wait on the presentation because all this information is in the package already. And that's why I asked it, because it's in the package. But I don't want to be lost in the fact, Mr. Mayor, to my colleagues, that I asked about this on June 2nd and did not get a response regarding hurricane preparedness. And it was interesting to see this legislation and then a package put together. I'll talk a little bit more about it later, but I didn't get a response. And when I ask for stuff, I expect to get a response. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, any other discussion on this item? All right, Madam Clerk, can we call the question?
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
all right. Madam Attorney, 12-5.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, authorizing the interim city manager to execute amendment number 1 to the WW 130300 loan agreement with the Florida Department of Environmental Protection relating to the state revolving loan fund program, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by the interim city manager.
Can I get a motion?
Move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Bass. Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is an item that, as we're doing our financial review, that we determined was actually already in place. So since we discovered that, we wanted to address that by bringing it to the commission as soon as possible, as soon as discovery. As you know, we are short-staffed in our finance department right now. We're doing the best we can to move forward with the annual reports that are actually past due with the state. And we are moving forward with the auditing team. So we're catching items as we go. And this is an item that we just want bring to the commission's attention. It's a marginal savings at less than $1,000. And I have the director of finance here to answer any specific questions you may have about it.
Okay. This item was pulled. So we open up the floor for
Mr. Mayor.
discussion. Commissioner Kelly.
Thank you. And I want to be on the record, when I pull items and I have to ask questions, it's because I can't get the items answered in the briefing. I asked those questions in the briefing and the finance director, while she tried to answer, she did not really have the clarity of being able to do it. So I had to pull it to ask. The other question, because, and I heard the man's response, we're catching them as we go, because this has been in place since January of this year. And we're just now, I guess, catching it in June of this year. So the question I really have, are there any other state or federal, whatever that be out there that we haven't caught or need to catch? So that we don't have that challenge. It's a marginal amount, but I'm always concerned when we're not up to date, especially from January and we're in June and just now executing this kind of agreement or executing the amendment already. So yeah, that's my question.
Okay, and Mr. Manager.
Good evening, Naima Walker, Director of Finance. As I stated the other day, this item actually was in existence prior to my tenure with the city. I arrived July of 2020. So this item was already on the state's roster for us to receive and submit before commission for acceptance. This is just a minor modification of the amortization schedule of one of the state revolving loans that we have. And again, it is a nominal savings, but it is necessary for us to go through this process.
Yeah, maybe it might be nominal, but it's necessary. It's part of the process, especially we talk about dollars from the state or the county. Can you ask, Mr. Mayor, to the manager, can you answer the other part of the question? Are there any other state or federal that you've identified since you've been here?
I have not identified any other.
Okay.
No, I have not.
All right, we'll put that on the record. All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Any other questions for the manager or the finance director? All right, hearing none. Madam Clerk, we can call the question.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
okay. We're going down to Madam Attorney 16-1.
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, amending the annual adopted general proprietary and special revenue funds budgets for the fiscal year commencing October 1, 2022 and ending September 30th, 2023, adjusting revenues and expenditures as reflected in Exhibit A, providing for the expenditure of funds established by the budget, authorizing the city manager to take certain actions, providing for appropriation of all budgets and expenditures, providing for fees consistent with appropriations and amendment, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for conflict and repealer, providing for severability, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by the interim city manager.
Can I get a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Williams. Second by Vice Mayor. Mr. Manager?
Is this a public hearing item?
Oh, I am. This is public hearing. Public, yeah, we still present.
Okay, so this is budget number 4, and we have our budget administrator, Mr. Robert Anathan, here to answer any questions that you may have.
All right, public hearing is open. Public hearing is closed. I believe the manager yields to Mr. Anathan. You have the floor.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commission, Bob. Sorry, I turned it off with my book. Very quickly, as you'll see in your notes, this is a very short budget amendment. There are 6 line items in there. 3 appear to be material, 2 are really material. 1 is going to be changed in the second hearing due to changing circumstances. The first prominent one is the first one in your agenda. We had been working with the county to get a more favorable debt payment schedule. We had brought that in as a budget amendment during the first budget amendment because we thought it was going to be occurring at that point. Through various reasons, it's not going to occur. So what I've had to do is restore the debt payment schedule back to what it originally was, which required an addition of about $400,000 of additional debt payment service this year. The good news is that just means that we pulling it ahead, therefore it'll be less in follow-on years. Are there any questions on that item?
All right, do we have any questions for Mr. Anathan on this item?
If not, I'm sorry. Otherwise, I'll cover the other couple of significant items.
Say it again.
I said, if there are no questions on that particular line item, I'll cover the other major items in the budget amendment.
You have more to the presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Very quickly, there's the third one, line 3 in your budget amendment. It shows a reduction in revenue for rental space in this building. At the time the budget was put together, we thought we had available rental space, and there's been a change in plans, and consequently, the city has decided to make use of a lot of that space. For example, the first floor, we thought we rented out and said it's going to be the police station. So as a result of the lack of additional rental space, we took down the rental revenue by $191,000. The last of the 6 items in your budget amendment reflects a proposed increase for the lease of police vehicles. We have found due to changing circumstances for the second hearing that will either go away altogether or be reduced significantly. The other 3 items are housekeeping, consisting of up to a dozen different small items of $1,000 to $2,000. And if I can, I'll just leave that as housekeeping. Are there any questions on any of the 6 items that I've addressed this evening?
I have a question. The police vehicle item, how you're adding additional, how many?
It turns out that what I had understood was in the pipeline to be delivered was overstated, and consequently, as I said, for the second hearing on this budget amendment, that number will either be reduced or go away altogether.
Okay, so we're not getting more vehicles.
It's by the time the second hearing, it'll be gone.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions for Mr. Anderson? Commissioner Kelly?
Thank you. I'm gonna keep saying it every meeting till someone catches it. I didn't have anyone at my briefing from the budget department, so I've got to ask my questions here. I looked at the current activity line in the 6 items that were referenced and the wording in each. So we had the challenge, I guess, of the amendment of what we thought the debt was going to be for the repayment of the Miami-Dade debt. As you mentioned, now it's going to occur at the end part. Can you explain to me, was that a bad projection? That was something the county changed?
No, sir. We had been working with the county since last summer to get a more favorable debt repayment schedule. And as of last fall, we thought we had it. Some of the circumstances changed, and it turned out that it's not going to occur. As I said, it's good news and bad news. It would have helped with liquidity this year, but now that we're going to pay it now, it's going to make next year a more favorable year for us.
Okay, I've seen since I got back and even looking at some of the budget projections and amendments, we tend to push or promote a rosy picture. And the reality is just call the numbers as they are or what the reflections are. And it seems to be we can fall back on the budget amendment to correct it. I'm always challenged with that. The second part, which the mayor kind of mentioned, I think you might have answered part of it, the $110,000 for the police vehicles. And it's ironic in the wording, as the city has gained experience in the cost of these leased vehicles, become apparent that the cost of maintenance of these vehicles overseen by the leasing company is more significant than have been anticipated. What have we done to assure that this, I guess, experience we've gained doesn't hurt us going forward? We have to make these kind of adjustments, particularly as it relates to purchasing big ticket items. And the second part of that is any of these lease of these vehicles tied to just maintenance, new vehicles, or is it also tied to vehicles that may be in damage or need repairs?
Through the mayor, if I may answer that question. Second part, I think I can answer very directly. What all the maintenance involved there is from normal police usage of vehicles. Anything involving accident is covered in entirely different process. Could I ask you to ask the first part of that question again, please?
Pardon me?
May I ask that you ask the first part of your question again, please?
Well, the first part of the question goes to the statement in the booklet about current activity that we've gained experience in the cost of these leased vehicles. So did we just make bad projections, or whoever was in charge of these costs not understand the cost of the maintenance before we did that? And I say that because obviously you have to make adjustment when these kind of things occur. And so that's why I'm asking the question, the way I'm asking it, because now you have to make some changes in savings. Well, as you said, a funding source for many of these are coming out of vacancy savings. And I asked the question in the briefing, and I'll ask it again, whether those vacancies come from, what departments, what areas, and in terms of the contingency that they were taken out of, what is left in those line items of contingency that they were taken out of?
Yes, sir. Through the mayor, if I could answer that question. Let me address the contingency first. The contingency is associated with the water sewer fund. At the start of the year, it was $250,000. Because of savings that we identified during the first budget amendment, we increased that by about $170,000. As part of this particular budget amendment we're talking now, we used $160,000 of what the increase. So now the water sewer fund contingency is back down to $260,000, whereas $250,000 is the budget number that we started with. So we really did not, the remaining contingency is still considered to be quite healthy.
So for these savings and
Yes, sir.
contingency that you're referencing came out of water and sewer.
They keep savings from many parts. No, sir, we're talking about contingency, which definitely came out of water and sewer fund. The other savings depended on the source of it. I do have some numbers here that I can share with you. For example, for this one, we took $75,000 out of the water department vacancies and what that, the budget for that involved 4.7 man years.
Okay, hold it right there,
Yeah,
because
yes,
see,
sir.
you're throwing numbers. I'm looking at the fact, when you say vacancy, are
Yes, sir.
those people?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. I
So
didn't realize.
that money is coming out of where somebody would be in a position.
Yes, sir. It's the taking advantage of savings and compensation and using it for other purposes.
That we have not hired anybody in those positions,
We've not been able to fill those positions. Yes, sir.
but they're needed. We just haven't filled them.
Yes, sir. They were part of the original budget. It was a
So
perceived need.
if we do find someone, because we're advertising and we find somebody to fill them, what would happen? Because we've taken that money out.
That's for the time that's already gone by, sir.
Say it again?
That is for the time that's already gone by with only, 3.5 months less than a year. We've taken advantage of the first 8.5 months of vacancies. So we've filled the vacancy credits we've taken will not impact the budget adversely.
Okay, and the water and sewer continue, you said was 260 and we have it at 250.
We started, the budget for the year was at $250,000, which has been our experience over the last several years, being an adequate number. During the first budget amendment back in November, we recognized certain savings in the water sewer fund, and that allowed us to increase the contingency to about $420,000, I believe. At this point, we're now using, of the 170 that we increased it, we're taking back out 160 of it. So the resultant contingency at this time is $260,000 as opposed to the original budget of $250,000.
Okay, so the 191,611 from the town center revenue reduction, because we're utilizing most of the space and not renting it out, again, came from vacancy savings where?
Those were primarily from the finance department, sir.
From the finance department?
Yes, sir. From a general fund source.
Pardon me?
From a general fund source, which we had to use for its reduction in town center rental revenue.
Okay, we don't anticipate any more assistance needed for the town center revenue area, correct?
No, sir. What's left is the one tenants in the building, and that person is there for at least a 2-year lease, if not renewed again after then.
Okay, I understand the need for budget amendments, et cetera, but I'm always concerned with where these funding sources are coming from. And so I would hope going forward, we make sure we keep an eye on those kind of things. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Anathan. Okay, so any other questions for Ms. Anathan or for the manager? All right, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Bass,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes first reading.
All right, Madam Attorney, 16-2.
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, authorizing the interim city manager to execute a community space lease agreement with Peace Swap Mentorship and Swim Organization, Inc. to provide swimming services, providing for adoption of representation, providing for conflict and repealer, providing for severability, providing for scrivener's errors, conflict, severability, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by the interim city manager.
Can I get a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Bass,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor. Mr. Manager, can you introduce this item?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this is a program to allow our kids a swimming course. by the swim P-SWAP team. And in exchange, the P-SWAP team will be able to run their programs, which our residents will also be able to utilize at our pool. And if you have any additional questions, I have the Parks Director, Mrs. Zonya Ray, available for those questions.
All right. This is a public hearing item. Public hearing is open. Public hearing is closed. Okay. Any discussion on this item? All right. I will say this, Madam Parks Director, thank you for bringing this program back to the city of Opa-locka. And I probably would be the first one in line because I know I don't know how to swim. So I'll be there. So thank you for that. Any other discussion on this item?
Mr. Mayor.
Oh, Commissioner Bass said she'll join me. Commissioner Kelly.
Thank you. I certainly want to see the swimming in the city, as I mentioned in the briefing. Our only question I had, the flyers for those that may not be in the actual summer camp program, do we have a time allotted for them, whatever it may be, so that they have an opportunity to learn how to swim? And I was assured by staff they was working on that. So thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Williams.
I also want to echo your sentiments. Thank you, Ms. Ray, for bringing P-SWAP. P-SWAP was instrumental in teaching my little one to swim 2 summers in a row and be able to fire off water guns to you all during
Vice Mayor's pool party.
Vice Mayor
You can
pool
say it.
party.
You can say it.
Thank you so much. So I'm excited for P-SWAP coming back. Thank you.
All righty. If there are any other discussion on this item, Madam Clerk?
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. First reading.
Okay, again, thank you, Ms. Ray. And okay, so we're gonna, Madam Attorney, a motion to reopen the agenda to add on these resolutions that we have. All right, Mr. Manager, can you state the emergency nature of these agenda? Oh,
Yes.
sorry, I'm sorry. First, we need a motion to reopen the agenda.
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Bass. Madam Clerk, it was a motion to reopen the agenda.
Commissioner Kelly. Reopen the agenda.
I'm trying to read what we reopened. Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
okay, so the agenda is reopened. Mr. Manager?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we are bringing these items before you on an emergency basis so that we can pay our vendors and stay in a stable condition with them. The state has reviewed our processes for special events, as this has been an ongoing conversation for about a year now, and wants us to just tighten up our processes a little bit so that we're in compliance with our charter. So therefore, for pending invoices for members of the commission that had not been paid to date, we are righting the ship by preparing these resolutions to present these events. Most of them have already occurred, 2 of them have not, to the commission for their approval so that we can move forward appropriately with our special events expenditures.
Okay, so we have 5 resolutions before us. So can we make a motion to add these to the agenda?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Williams,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly, Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
okay, and I know we're going back to 14, so it'll be 14, number 14-2. So Madam Attorney, there's no order. so you
Yeah, I don't
gotta-
see an order on it, but I'll go ahead and just read what I have in. Okay. The first one will be a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, authorizing the interim city manager to reimburse Vice Mayor Natasha Irvin in an amount of $21,202.43 for expenses incurred in support of the city's 97th birthday celebration events, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date.
All right, can I get a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Williams,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor. Mr. Manager, can you present this item?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So these are expenditures for reimbursement to Vice Mayor Natasha Irvin, who worked with our Parks Department and my office in support of the 97th birthday event. We found several vendors that were not willing to wait for state approval for payment. And if we were going to be able to move forward, they required immediate payment. And she stepped in the gap and made these payments happen. So we request that you approve this item so that we may reimburse her.
All right, any discussion on this item?
Just a quick question. The,
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Bass, then Commissioner Kelly.
just a quick question, the reimbursements, those funds are coming from the funds that we had already voted for that set purpose, correct?
That's correct, Commissioner Bass. We had a $40,000 set aside for the 97th birthday party.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Commissioner Kelly.
thank you. I think I heard the manager mention earlier regarding the process from the state requires us to go through this as relates for reimbursement because of the resolution we have passed previously. Is that what I understood you to say?
No, sir. The state made recommendations for us to be in compliance with our own charter. As you know, the city manager is the only person authorized to spend. So therefore, all expenditures must either come from my office or be supported by a resolution with a majority vote. And unfortunately, we haven't been consistently doing that in the city of Opa-locka, and we need to right that ship.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, any other discussion on this item? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Bass, Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, Madam Attorney, 14-3.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, authorizing the interim city manager to reimburse Vice Mayor Natasha Irvin in an amount of $5,220.98 for expenses she incurred in support of various city events, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date.
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Williams,
Second.
second by Commissioner Bass. Mr. Manager?
Absolutely. So some of these expenditures are dating back to December, receipts that Vice Mayor Irvin presented and held, and we just now received and we want to process. So these were actually incurred before even the legislation moved forward to prohibit the city manager from reimbursing city employees. So these are actually just expenditures made on behalf of her special events, and they will be reimbursed out of her special events budget.
Okay, any discussion on this item? All right, hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All righty, Madam Attorney, 14-4.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, authorizing the interim city manager to pay Freeze Frame Marketing and Media, Inc. $4,893 for services provided in support of the city's special event, Women of Many Hats, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date.
All right,
This is sponsored by the interim city manager.
can I get a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Vice Mayor,
Second.
second by Commissioner Bass. Mr. Manager?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, this is one of these special events. For the same reason, we're just righting the ship, bringing forward a resolution, presenting the event. Unfortunately, this one's afterwards, but moving forward, we're going to do this in advance for the commission to approve events before they occur. And this is an event that was conducted by Commissioner Williams.
All right, any discussion on this item? Hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
motion passes 5-0.
All right, Madam Attorney, 14-5.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, authorizing expenses related to Mayor Taylor's business luncheon for small businesses in the amount of $1,535, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by the interim city manager.
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Williams,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor.
Mhm.
Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this is the appropriate way for us to get authorization for expenditures from your special events budget. This is an event that's going to be occurring tomorrow, hosted by Mayor Taylor, and he's going to be accessing his special events budgets in order to utilize and expend these funds.
Okay, Mr. Manager, understand the process. Okay, no problem. But what I want to do and amend this resolution to say, so we don't have to do this every quarter, that this will be a quarterly event. And then the amount that you have, 1535, if this is what we're gonna have to do every quarter, then that amount will stand for the remaining of this life of this business luncheon.
Okay.
Okay. So Madam Attorney, can we add that language? All right, thank you. So can I get a motion on the amendment?
Move it.
Moved by Vice Mayor,
Second.
second by Commissioner Bass. Can we vote? Sir, Commissioner Kelly,
Where exactly is this coming from?
my special events. budget.
Your event thing? Okay.
And I'm assuming this will be, the language you want me to add would be quarterly for the remainder of this fiscal year?
Mhm.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
And the amount not to exceed 1,500 and whatever he has here,
Okay.
35. I'm sorry.
Has it been moved?
It has been moved, right?
Move.
Moved
Yes.
by Commissioner
Mhm.
Williams. I don't even remember. Second by Vice Mayor Irvin. On the amendment, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor,
Yes,
motion passes on the amendment.
okay, and Madam Attorney, 15-6,
Yes, a
No.
resolution of the City
I'm
Commission.
sorry,
14-6.
I need a roll call
Oh.
on the motion.
Oh, call the question, I'm sorry. Can I, go ahead.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
motion passes 5-0.
All right, Madam Attorney, 14-6.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, authorizing the interim city manager to accept a donation from Ray of Hope Foundation obtained by Mayor Taylor in the amount of $1,500 to be applied to his special event budget allocation, and further authorizing the interim city manager to expend funds to American Multi-Cinema and Mayor Taylor in the amount of $1,177.20 in support of the mayor's special event, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date.
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Williams,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor. Mr. Manager?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this particular item, I had several discussions with the state as whether it was necessary. However, in an abundance of caution, we decided to bring it anyway. There was actually no cost for this event to the city of Opa-locka, but there was an exchange of funds as we received dollars and put dollars out, but our net impact on our budget was actually zero. So this was an event that's already occurred last Friday for the mayor's movie event.
All right, any discussion on this item? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor,
Yes,
motion passes 5-0.
okay. Mr. Manager, before we move on to the, I'm sorry,
I would like to say something.
okay,
It's kind of about this.
go ahead, I was gonna say something. Go
Okay.
ahead.
As I learned a lot today. So we have events planned on Friday, and I don't, let me just say it, then you all can tell me what I need to do. So I am having a fish fry and we also have bingo. So I was instructed today that I have to ask my colleagues if I can spend my money out of my special events budget with expectations to be reimbursed. So I'm asking my,
Before you go that route, Mr. Manager, I think it's prudent for you as well as the state to meet with each commissioner one-on-one to explain to them this process.
We have.
We have met with everybody, so everybody has
Yes.
an understanding of it. Okay, so I met with them.
I met with them.
I believe.
Okay, so
Mayor Taylor, you said you did have a phone call.
no, I said I met with them, but
Yes.
we have
And
commissioners that said that they have not. So I'm going forward to meet with everyone to ensure.
So Mayor Taylor, may I ask who has not met with Brian Hunter on this issue?
Commissioner
Oh,
Bass has
okay.
not.
All right. My
So,
apologies, Commissioner Bass.
And
Go-
Kelly.
and Commissioner Kelly have not
Okay.
met with you and Mr. Hunter on this
Okay,
issue.
Brian Hunter said that he did speak extensively with
Yeah.
Commissioner Kelly on this topic.
Okay, so let's just ensure that
Yes,
every
absolutely.
commission is on the same page. Because if it has to come, based on what I'm hearing, or what I heard from in that discussion, that this has all items or event items that have expenditures have to come before the commission for approval. So the reason why I stopped Vice Mayor, if Vice Mayor says it as a motion, does that count?
I
Like, that's
believe it
why
has-
because we have several events coming up, so I just want to make sure that we're doing it right.
I believe that has to come as a resolution with a total presentation of the event with the expenditures, but I'll defer to the city attorney to answer that question.
I have not been privy to any communications with the state or their new requirements, so this is not something that I would know. I don't know what they've shared with the interim manager about what their expectations are for reimbursement.
All right, then I'll circle back. Not having an answer to the question of whether a resolution or a motion is adequate for expenditures of special events, I will seek an answer to that question and bring it back to the commission.
All right, so can Vice Mayor tonight, because I know she has a fish fry, I have bingo on Friday, what we have. Yeah, so I want to make sure that if we make this motion now, that it will stand, or do we have to bring it back, a resolution back for ratification of both events?
I don't have the answer to that question, sir.
Okay, so now, Madam Attorney, what would we need to do now?
What you could do now is make a motion and at least you have something on record.
Mhm.
And then the manager will seek additional authority or seek additional guidance, I should say, as to what exactly the state is looking for, whether they want a formal resolution or whether a motion and a vote is enough. But tonight, since you have things coming up and just in an abundance of caution, you may want to at least at the floor level, make a motion on whatever you have coming up. for
Okay,
approval.
so I'll start, Vice Mayor. Say that on Friday, I want to make a motion on Friday, I'm having bingo, and to an amount not to exceed $1,000 to come out of Mayor Taylor's special events budget. Does that suffice?
Again, I do not have the answer to that
Well, she
question.
said we can make a motion. I'm asking, does that motion suffice as what's,
I think it's better than having nothing at all. So.
okay,
I'm in
yes.
agreement with that as well.
got it. So that's the motion for that's the motion for Friday's bingo, to allow Mayor Taylor to have bingo once a month for the remaining of this fiscal year, not with an amount not to exceed $1,000. That's the motion. It's because I don't want to have to bring it back every single month. So it's for the remaining of this fiscal year. So is that? Okay, so I made that motion. Can I get a second on that motion? And then Vice Mayor, you can make your motion for the fish fry.
Discussion.
Oh, discussion on that motion.
I'm not
I'm not sure if we can, from what I understood today, if we can go forward in the manner, I understand what you're saying, but from what I understood, I'm not sure if we can go forward like what you're saying.
But what we can do is we can make a motion to direct the city manager to bring back legislation for those events. I know we can do that. That I know.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we can definitely do that to ratify that. So I'll change my motion to direct the city manager to bring back legislation allowing Mayor Taylor to have bingo this Friday, June, what's the date? 16th, and going forward, once a month going forward for the rest of this fiscal year with a budget not to exceed $1,000 to come from Mayor Taylor's special events budget. So that is the motion. Well, the motion. Can I get a second?
Mayor Taylor. So I think from my understanding today as well, I think the initial motion that you made for having bingo Friday night should suffice. And then coming back after clarity for the quarterly, I think we should come back after everything has been laid out. But I think for this,
I don't mind.
yeah, I think for this, for bingo and for the fish fry, we should make a motion just for these two events only.
Well, so on that note, I'll second Commissioner Williams's motion.
And I'll second.
You don't need the second, because we just did it. We just
Yeah, I
did it.
just made a motion and you
Commissioner
seconded.
Williams just made a motion to, so, okay. So Madam Clerk, roll call, please. The motion is to allow Mayor Taylor to have bingo Friday, June 16th. And to use an amount not to exceed $1,000 to come from his special events budget. And the motion was made by Commissioner Williams and second by Commissioner Bass. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Bass?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Williams?
Yes.
Mayor Taylor?
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
okay. And Vice Mayor has
I guess I have to split it because I'm co-sponsor with you with
don't even worry
bingo.
about it. Once
Yeah,
it comes
don't-
back,
yeah, don't.
we'll do it that way. Just let it ride out.
Do your motion.
I don't, I'll take it out of my special events.
I would like to make a motion that this Friday, the 16th for Father's Day, I'm having a fish fry. And I would like for it to come out of my special events budget, not to exceed $500.
So we have a motion on the floor. Can we get a second on that? motion?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Williams. And Commissioner Bass says she'll third it. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Vice Mayor Irvin?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Williams?
Yes.
Commissioner Bass?
Yes.
Mayor Taylor?
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
all right. So moving right along into our
I don't-
city. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. I know it's out of, I will, since the city attorney said that she wasn't privy, and these are, from my understanding, this was a part of the code. I would like to see that, the attorney's office as well as the manager's office also speak with, Brian Hunter. And I'm going to also say, actually, let me just say all three charter officers have one meeting so that we're all on the same page. I'm going to make a motion that all three charter members create a meeting where you're all on the same page and we're not bouncing between, let's say, the clerk's office and the manager's office when it comes to our events, that we all, and that you all also within that meeting, I know I'm going on, you all also within that meeting create like a plan, a strategy to bring back to us as well. Thank you.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, Madam, first, Madam Attorney, did you understand that motion?
To meet, for three of us to meet, and by the way, I'm not aware where this would be in the code, but I'm happy. to
It was
meet-
said. I don't know
Yeah,
what's
I-
up.
That's why,
I
that's
don't-
why she,
yeah,
That's why I'm
that's why she
saying,
said for you
that's
all
why
to
I'm
meet.
saying.
I'm
to be
happy
all
to
on the
meet
same page.
and,
You need to
and
be-
have that meeting with Mr. Manager and the clerk. So.
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, Madam, so it's moved
Mhm.
by Commissioner Williams,
And I
second by
second.
Vice Mayor. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner
I'm
Kelly.
sorry, amend that to happen within the next 14 days. To be brought back on the next, sorry, that meeting to happen before the next commission meeting and it be brought back by the next commission meeting. So add that, please, so that we won't go in the summertime with this problem. So please add that language in there. All right, we need to vote on that amendment? Oh, we're good.
We need a vote.
We need a
Okay.
vote. Can I get a second on the amendment?
Second.
Thank you. On the amendment, can we vote on the amendment?
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, Madam Clerk, on the actual motion.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All righty, so moving right along to item number 17, the city manager's report. Mr. Manager, floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For our first portion presentation this afternoon, we have the summer internship program, which will be presented by the Director of Human Resources, Ms. Alexia Robotham.
Okay. Segueing into this presentation, this is an overview of how the city of Opa-locka partnered with the Miami-Dade Public Schools for the Summer Youth Internship Program. Next slide. This is a timeline of the program. It starts July 3rd and then ends August 7th. The first day of the internship program, the kids will come in at 9 a.m. for orientation, and then supervisors can adjust their assignments to better fit the needs of their assigned department. For the kids that are assigned to their department, they're only allowed 2 absences during the program period, and the last day of the internship program is August 7th. Important facts, the kids are supposed to work 150 hours during a 5-week period, 30 hours each week. Presentations are communication tools that will be used as speeches, reports, and more. And a student population that of the program will be comprised of, sorry, I have the little cough. I'm comprised of rising 10th through 12th graders between the ages of 15 and 18-year-olds. Next slide. Next 2 slides. I apologize. Next slide. And then how they're graded, 50% of their grade derives from assignments. The final 50% derives from employee thank you, evaluations. How many times they will be evaluated by the employer would be twice, the midterm and the final evaluation. What are the restrictions in the workload? No more than 20% of the assigned work should be busy work. Next slide. The intern assignments, their assignments must be completed on their own time. They're separate from the work that they're doing with the city. Students must report to the first and last day unless agreed upon with supervisor, must have a signed field trip form to take interns off the premises, and attendance is vital. And then the timesheets. Online timesheets. The Human Resources Department is the only entity able to access the online timesheets for the students. A physical timesheet will be distributed to be completed and returned electronically to the HR department with required signatures from the supervisors approving time submitted. Timesheets must be submitted by student interns every week or every Wednesday and Thursday morning for the latest. Next slide. The schedule, week 1, it's just a breakdown, week 1 through 6, and how they're going to move through the program. Slide. That's an example of the timesheet that we're going to be distributing to the departments and where the students are going to be located to fill in every week. And then these are important Florida child labor laws that apply to the program. Minors cannot work more than 6 consecutive days in any 1 week. Minors cannot work more than 4 consecutive hours without a 30-minute uninterrupted break. Breaks must be documented on the timesheet. Minors who are 15 years old or older may work up to 8 hours per day and up to 40 hours per week, but cannot work before 7 a.m. or after 9 p.m. More information will be included in the internship provider handbook. Next slide. That's the handbook. And it's actually in the back of your presentations, the handbook for you to reference. And last slide. Thank you. We also have 15 students that we selected spread across the city.
All right, any questions for our HR director? Commissioner Bass?
Yes, thanks. You mentioned 15 students. Is that the total amount for the program? That's it, 15.
Yes, I have the allocations here. I'm missing 2 because they were last minute, but I have 2 for finance, 2 for IT, 1 for the city manager's office, 1 for parks, 1 for community redevelopment, 2 for police, 1 for building, and 1 for HR, and 1 for building and license. So 2 for building, actually. And then there's 2 missing that were added last minute.
One other question, well, more of an observation, probably / question. It says for rising 10th grader, 9th graders.
Yeah.
And it also says age 15. We do have 14-year-olds going to 10th grade.
Yeah, that's the restriction, the
Labor
age
law.
limit.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Williams?
quick, I wanted to just, quick suggestion, and I don't know what, when the students work in each department, to ask them if they have a Florida virtual or Edgenuity course that they're taking this summer. We have a lot of students doing course recovery, and or dual enrollment or anything else trying to supplement. If we could give them time, and I'm going through this right now, that's why I know with my 16-year-old, etch out maybe some time within their day. I'm not saying use their lunch schedule, but sometimes so that they can complete, if not 30 minutes, an hour is actually really good, but if not, so that they can complete their summer coursework.
Okay.
That's just a suggestion.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, just one more.
Commissioner Bass?
Thank you. It says only allow 2 absences.
Yes.
For academic purposes.
Yes.
What about illnesses? How many how many absences can they have and still be a part of the program?
The program only allows for 2 absences.
Period.
Yeah,
But
I know.
no exceptions.
No exception.
It's the program that's conducted through Miami-Dade Public Schools.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
Thank you. No worries.
Okay.
Thank you.
You have another?
No.
Oh, all right. Okay, thank you, Madam HR. Mr. Manager?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We now have a presentation for our summer youth camp program, which will be presented by our Parks and Recreation Director, Mrs. Zanya Ray.
Ms. Zanya, you have the floor. Oh, you waiting on IT?
Good evening, Mayor and Commission. We're presenting to you the 2023 summer program, which is free for the residents of the city of Opa-locka. And we provided the program for the 3 sites, which is Shabandi, Ingram, and Siegel. So what we did this year is actually expanded the program so that we can be able to provide more service to our residents to engage into new activities outside of just having fun in the summer. Because I communicated with some of the schools and they wanted us to kind of like engage the kids in assistance with reading, some assistance in math, and we're gonna do STEM Fridays on the park. So we actually have summer meals, which is free, and we have open sites, and that's for Ingram and Siegel. I mean, Ingram and Shabandi, but Ingram and Siegel, actually, the summer meals right now for 2 weeks will be at Siegel. So we transport the kids from Ingram to Siegel for breakfast and lunch. And we program the children for Ingram and Siegel at Ingram Park. So we don't transport them back to Siegel, the ones that are assigned to Siegel, until like 5 or 5:30, until we get everything situated with this summer meals program. And then the summer meals program will be transferred over to Ingram completely. So they won't have the meals in 2 weeks, after 2 weeks over at Siegel, due to the senior program being housed at the Helen Miller. So we don't want the children to cross paths with the seniors as they're being programmed. So we have, this week, we have no field trips. We're scheduling, as Commissioner Kelly said, that we setting up a schedule now for the resident that's not a part of the summer program, be able to come to the park and have swimming lessons between the hours of 2:30 to 4. So that's what we're working on right now, the schedule, so we can submit it to you all in regards to the swimming program for the residents and not just the children in the summer program. Next slide. The summer camp daily schedule is what you see from 8 a.m. to 9. That's the sign in. And we provide the breakfast between 8 and 9. But the parents are able to drop the kids off at 7 o'clock in the morning, because we have staff there to receive the kids for the parents that work from Monday through Friday. We don't accept no students or campers after 9 because they're doing programming at that time. So we don't want the children coming in anytime and interrupting our program time, if it's reading or if it's math or whatever program we have assigned at that time. So we encourage the parents to make sure the kids are there at 9.
9:30. Oh, 9:30. From 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Once they feed the kids, we clean up the site and make sure the building is actually set up and ready to go for the seniors at the Helen Miller Center. And then from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., there are programming. They split between some is outside doing outside activities, the other one's inside doing the educational component. And then we have lunch that is from 12 to 2, but actually it's 12 to 1. They changed the time on us. So it's actually from 11 a.m. The community is allowed to be able to come to the site and eat breakfast or lunch at that time as well. So like I say, all our sites right now is open sites to the community to be able to feed the kids that's out of school right now. Then we transport them, as I say, back to Siegel for lunch at 12, and we transport them back at 1. And after that, we make sure the building is actually cleaned back up once they finish their eating. And then, like I say, they don't return back to the site until 5:30 for the parents to pick them up for dismissal. But we have, this year, my staff has done an amazing job with communicating with the parents, because on Sunday, my staff sent out mass texts to the parents that was assigned to the different parks, letting them know that their children had to be to the site before 9 o'clock. And they told them what their expectations are for each site. And the parents met me, greet me, and they was like, oh, wow, your staff was very professional. They was on point. We glad that we got the information before we actually began on Monday. So I give my staff kudos because they was really on point. The children that we have now is so amazing because they made sure that they are respectable. You can walk in the building, you don't even hear them, you don't even know they're there. So I'm very excited this year. Next slide. Also, the form that you see before you is also the parent consent form that allowed the parents, if they have more than one child in the program, they must sign this swimming and swimming lesson waiver, releasing the city and P-SWAP from any liabilities as far as the children while they doing safety swimming during the time that they're in the water. So the parents have to sign an individual form for each child in order for their child to be a part of the swimming program. We also have attached is a release and waiver exempt form that releases the city for any liabilities when the kids are being transported to and from the sites as well as on the sites. So we make sure this form is also inside the package to cover all areas of liability for the city. The form that is not in your package is the media release form. We do have that inside the package. We also have a summer camp bylaw book for the parents. We're having a parent meeting either this Friday or the following week for us to go over the rules and guidelines for summer camp this year. So the parents will have to sign that rule book, understanding that we have rules. We don't accept the children bullying. We don't accept the children using bad language. So that information will be submitted to the manager so that they can review it. So before it come before you all, the calendars that you see attached, which is not on the TV, is that this is everything that we're doing for the summer program from June to August. And this year, the end of the summer trip will be August the 11th, and it's Busch Garden this year. So that concludes my presentation to the commissioner.
Thank you, Ms. Ray. And good job on the summer program and this detailed presentation. Thank you. Any other?
If I may make a statement, it's me, yes. So today I had the pleasure of going over to Ingram Park just to check to see what was going on, and everything was going well. The kids, there was a set of kids that were playing, and inside the older kids were actually making slime, but they were having fun with it. Everything seemed well. So tomorrow my visit will be somewhere else. I won't tell you, but I'll be checking in. Thank you so much. And I look forward to following you guys on some of these field trips, and especially the end of the year trip.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr.
I
Manager.
just had a quick
Oh,
question.
I'm
for Ms.
sorry, Ms. Ray.
Ms. Ray, how many
Commissioner Brown.
campers do we have?
Between all three parks, we have 124.
Are you at your max?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
All right, Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next, I'd like to make a special announcement inviting the public out to the grand reopening of our new building and license department. The commission will be handing out $40,000 in grant monies that we've received out to vendors that have gone through the process in support of them being businesses in the city of Opa-locka. Very excited about this. This is Friday will be at Friday at noon. And we're just asking the community to come out. We have flyers out and we have special invitations out. It would be a brief 30-minute, probably about 30-minute meeting. And we had to do this now so that we don't lose this grant funds. So we had to push this down in order to get it done. So the vendors will be out there and we're asking everybody to come out that is available. Thank you. Any questions or comments regarding that item?
Any questions for the manager regarding the item on Friday? Ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
You said Friday as in 2 days?
Yes.
Oops,
Yeah.
okay.
We were just notified that the grant funds that we received for that, we could be at risk of losing them. We've been waiting for the vendors to complete their business licenses and permitting process. So we spent the last couple of days helping them fill out their paperwork to get it done in order to get as many of the vendors eligible for this money as we can.
Mr. Mayor, did we know that this grant was here, that it was available? I mean, why last minute?
Again, we received the money last year, but we just received notice that we could have to return the money if we didn't immediately expend the funds. That was on Monday.
Oh, so it was.
But Mr. Manager, when we received that grant last year, this is the grant from the flea market, right? Because I remember asking about it.
Yes.
And also asking in detail, a detailed report to be submitted to the commission of how we're gonna spend it, when, and what's the steps. And I believe I asked that in a couple commission meetings ago. And
Yes.
we never got it. But go ahead.
I've given several reports on this and the information is the same. I, as a city manager, did not feel comfortable expending grant money for businesses that do not have business licenses in the city of Opa-locka. And if the commission directs me to do otherwise, I certainly would do that if it's the will of the commission. However, it was important for us. These are old businesses that some of them have been here for 40 years and have never had a license with the city of Opa-locka. And felt like they don't have to have a license. So it was either go through this process or not move forward here as an operating business in the city of Opa-locka. It was definitely important for them to complete this process. And they did have some issues with DERM that was outside of their control, which allowed us to extend the grant timeframe. but we're now coming up on a year and they've done a review of their books and they've said that we need to spend this money. So our building and license department actually has deployed personnel to their sites to help them complete their applications, to help them both in Creole and Spanish and English. We've spent a lot of time on this in the last week to get this done in order to move this forward.
And I do understand, I do appreciate the due diligence from your office, but we received that money in August. And then I believe maybe last month or month before that, did a budget amendment to accept that money, and I questioned it then. So if that was the case, that a lot of these vendors did not have permits, then why didn't we do that last year? Go there with our staff saying, hey, if you don't have a business license, let me help you get a business license. But to wait till the tail end and to almost be threatened for the money to be clawed back. And not only
so
that the commission didn't even know about the event on Friday. So that's another.
So we can postpone the grand opening of the business, the building and license department. I just thought that would be a great photo opportunity for the commission. And we'll just go ahead and hand out the money as we're supposed to and do the building and license when we have more time to advertise. I think that's a great idea. We'll move forward with that.
Well, I'm not concerned about photo ops. I just want us to do things right. And again, we received the money in August. I questioned it a couple of months ago when we did these. So that's where I'm at with it. I don't want us to get to the habit, like I expressed back then, that we received grant money and we're not doing our due diligence, because that was the case. That was the case of the past. So if we're trying to move, let's just do it. That's all I'm asking.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome, Mr. Manager. Any other questions to the what statements to this?
Did through the mayor, did the manager's office know that there was an event happening Friday?
No.
What?
Oh, you mean the father? Are you asking about the father?
Yeah,
I thought you
yes.
meant, no, we did not know that we were going to be having an event, but we are aware of the Father's Day event. Yes.
Okay, because no, I'm just trying to figure out, like, it's at the same time, correct? Is it? Yeah, so
We
how do
thought
we?
the fish fry was at 1. So we were going to have a photo op and then go to the fish fry. That was how we planned it. However, so we'll move the grand opening of the building license to another day and go ahead and expend those grant funds out. If that be the will of the commission.
Any other,
Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner Kelly?
I'm not gonna sit here and just shake my head. There are 5 folks up here that need to know what's going on all the time. And if the manager's office, the clerk's office, or the attorney's office wants to plan something with the date, with the time, check the calendar first and then check all of our schedules. Because I don't really care about photo ops. I really don't. I've taken photos 20 years. But when you put us in a position where we're trying to figure out, and then you put the term on it, we don't want to lose the funds. Nobody wants to lose funds. The mayor just alluded, he talked about this 2 months ago. So I would hope going forward, we don't have this challenge, because we know Friday is already a long day, from Feeding South Florida at 10 to the fish fry at 12 to bingo later on. So it's already a long day. But at least the courtesy to reach out to us via the clerk's office. We got to spend this money. We got to find a time frame. What's best for the commission to be able to try to get this done. That's where it should have occurred. That's where it should have occurred. So, Mr. Mayor, I know you're trying to be licensed, but you're right. You asked about this a couple of months ago, the same. And so if you knew it was coming, prepare for it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, any other discussion on this item? All right, Mr. Manager, you can continue with your report.
I have nothing else, Mayor.
Okay, all right, so do we have any official board reports? Okay, hearing none, seeing none. We're gonna go with the mayor and commission reports, and we'll start. We're gonna start with Commissioner Kelly. She said you start this time.
You have your thing for the manager. Remember, you got under you going by that or just going straight to?
I think that one's gonna be a little long, so we can go unless you. I don't mind. So you wanna?
I can go. That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was just going by the structure and agenda because you're down first, but I can go first. As it states in my report, the Civil Service Board, which about a month or so, a couple of months ago, we have talked about and realized that that board could not function under the same way it had. And I said to the commission and to the community, I will work with the attorney on trying to bring some legislation forward. We have kind of worked on something that we believe can work for the citizens in our community, for our department employees. I want to thank the city attorney's office for working with us on trying to craft this. We have submitted it to the city manager via for HR to look at it and give their input. So that hopefully we can bring it back at the next commission meeting. I also want to just mention, and I know Commissioner Williams had been talking about this for a while, along with a lot of us. I'm still concerned about a citywide beautification. So I put it under my report because we have been piecemealing with receptacles and trees coming in. We still don't have that citywide beautification initiative. So I want to make sure we don't forget that. Also, citywide infrastructure. I noticed, I'm quite sure all of us did as well, the rains of the last week or so have really been taking its toll on our roads, our streets, our drainage, et cetera. And so I don't want us to forget that we really need to deal with our infrastructure. I got a call today, an email rather, from businesses on Carroll Lane, which I forwarded to the manager. The road is just almost impassable on Carroll Lane. Over in Industrial Park and other areas, the same challenges with our infrastructure. And so we need to really have a serious conversation about how we're going to proceed with dealing with the infrastructure. I think the last number I heard was about $30 million worth of infrastructure challenges. And although that's a lot, we're going to have to figure out a way to start biting that off a little bit at a time, because while we want businesses and we want development, we want growth. I always say you got to take care under the ground before you can really deal with above the ground. So I want to keep that before us as well. Ingram Park reopening, I'm kind of challenged. I'm glad that the young folks are out there. I'm glad that the fish fry is going to take place. But I will go on record and say I'm not thrilled with the way things have transpired with the reopening. I've had meetings with the manager's office via his staff, trying to get the park back open because I wanted to be fully open and functional before we actually went in. I know the summer camp program is there, and I'm glad to see the young people out there. We're still scheduled for the official, I guess, reopening of June 24th, because I know there was work to be done on the sewer and the water lines, and that's why I kind of held back on that. But I was very surprised to see all of the things that are taking place with activities actually on the park already. So I'm wondering if we even need a reopening since it's already open, but I'll decide that in the next couple of days. I also want to follow up and thank the manager's office by way of the police department for being at Meet Me Monday this past Monday evening. We of course had our state rep there, Representative Gant, who talked about the challenges in Tallahassee and the bills she's passed, et cetera. So I want to thank her for being there. Of course, we had about 20 some residents there as well, expressing concerns, some of which, as I understand, Mr. Manager, regarding the businesses on Alabama, you've spoken to them, I guess, today and supposed to be working with them. So I look forward to that. What I don't like is the last minute, because I've been asking about that for over 2 weeks. I've been around a long time. I don't like when you waffle like that. You either do it or you don't, but don't wait till the last minute. I'll leave it right there for that moment. The other issue I brought up, and I see them here tonight, and I brought up to Mr. Ellis on Monday as well, because it came up, was the property owners on York Street with the fences They came to the meeting, the last meeting. I forwarded you correspondence regarding that to work with those residents to let them know what was going on, et cetera. I have not heard anything back myself. They have not heard anything back because I was over and spoke with some of them, and some of them also came to meet me Monday. So I'm still waiting. I think I sent you a correspondence even as late as yesterday via email on those issues. So I'm still waiting just like they are. What I hope I don't see, and I'm gonna put it on the record, I hope I don't see is some kind of action or what have you without at least reaching out to those residents to know what's going on. To my colleagues, they did come to the meeting expressing their frustration and concern about those fences and being told they had to be taken down. Some of them been there over 40, 50 years. I don't know what the answer is, but I hope we can come to some resolution and make sure we communicate with those residents like any other resident or business community as we're working through whatever process we are working on. I will also say, Mr. Manager, I send you emails because I know you're busy. Your time is valuable. I got it recorded, so I won't go through it tonight because everybody go home, ready to go home. But I sent you emails requesting information or different things, and some of which I've not got a response back yet. I'm going to ask you again to please respond in a timely manner with emails. I've said it from this dais, and I'm going to say it again. And I'm saying it really to my colleagues as well. All five of us up here have things that we bring before the manager, whether we call them or whether we email. I choose email because I like a paper trail. But when residents reach out and they have concerns, I'm going to reach out to the manager's office or whatever appropriate department in terms of the three that we control to get an answer or at least get a response to what is going on. And I want to make sure going forward that that's noted on the record, because I don't just do emails and ask for things to represent the community, not to get a response, especially a timely one. As some of you know, we had a homicide a couple of weeks ago over in Magnolia North. I had residents that called me up and said we had a homicide. I told them basically, no, we didn't, because I had not heard nothing from the administration. To be sitting in my living room at 6-something watching Channel 7 to find out it was true. And then 2.5 hours later, I got an email. That's unacceptable, totally unacceptable. We want to move the city forward. I'm all for that, but let's do it correctly and not in a vacuum. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Commissioner Kelly, Vice Mayor.
Yes. I want to just remind the employees, and by the way, if any residents want to come out, preferably fathers, for the Father Day Fish Fry, you're more than welcome to come. It's going to be at Ingram Park from 12 to 2 on Friday. Also, our 4th of July, we haven't done a lot of conversation about it, but I know that I want to do the picnic part of it, which is earlier in that day. And I'm asking residents if they would like to, bring their tents, chairs, barbecue grills, coolers, and of course their families to come and cook out with the community while enjoying water slides, swimming pool, and music. Make it like a big family picnic so that you can get a chance to even fellowship with other residents that are here while enjoying your park for the 4th of July. I think that's what I have to say between now and the 4th of July, and then Father's Day, and happy Father's Day to everybody, all the men rather. Thank you.
Commissioner Bass. No report, Commissioner Williams.
Okay, I'll be really quick. First, I wanted to give a special shout out, thank Pastor Keith Butler of Lagos Baptist Church for having me this Sunday for their baccalaureate / Greek / HBCU Sunday. A great time fellowshipping with Lagos. Also wanted to say that strategic planning was very successful. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and manager's office, and everyone that attended, all the departments that gave us some very pertinent information that we needed to know. I will say that I did mention to the manager, and I'll say it again, that should be something that is happening on an ongoing basis, not just once a year, just so that we can also make sure we're aligned and reset ourselves with information. I do believe, and it's a common theme that as a commission, information could be funneled down in a better way, specifically with even information that we do get from what's happening in our community. Sometimes we have to give those processes to the others, Mr. Manager, because you can't do it all. But especially if it's communication to the commission, there are 2 other assistants. So if they could be a part of that so that we can ensure that that happens, that'll be great. Because it's what's happening lately is we get information after the fact, specifically what goes on in the community. And I would like to know before. And other than that, have a safe summer, everyone. Please have a safe summer. I myself work all year round, but all the teachers, educators, everyone, please get rest, please, and charge your batteries. And yeah, until August.
Have fun.
Thank you.
I work year round too.
All right. Exactly. My report is a couple things. Commissioner Williams already touched on the strategic planning session. Thank you to the management office and to staff that actually showed up. But I know we didn't complete it, and we said it was going to schedule an additional one in the month of July. So, well, Mr. Clerk, can you poll the commission to see what day that we are all available so that we can actually be there? And also
ASAP.
Yeah, poll the commission. You could, and then also the topics that we discuss, please provide that to Vice Mayor. And yeah, so that we. Okay, and to Commissioner Bassett to invite the charter members to this second part of the strategic planning session. And also provide a brief summary of what we discussed at the first one. The second thing is, we know that this Friday is bingo at 6 p.m. sponsored by us. It's going to be at our Shabundi Village. The other thing is, tomorrow we're having our quarterly business luncheon. It's a networking event where we're bringing businesses throughout the city to hear what resources we have in the city, as also in Miami-Dade County and the state abroad. So this first one, our keynote speaker is our State Senator Chevron Jones. So we invite all of our business owners out. If you have not registered, you still have time. Also, and last but not least, Mr. Manager, the financial oversight update. Can we be provided with that now?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we are at a very critical time in our city's history, where we're under the gun to get these 2021 fiscal year comprehensive annual financial report completed and submitted to the state. We have hit some roadblocks and challenges that has required a significant amount of my time and a significant amount of the finance director and her department's time to try to triage the issue regarding the submission timely submission from the city to Markham, our external auditors, in order to see if we can still hit the June 30th deadline that we provided to the state, that we would have it there. Based on that deadline, the state has already moved forward, should we miss that deadline, with initiating some withholdings. Markham, the reports are now in the hands of Markham, and it's now up to them. We will provide them every resource that we can, and they will make best efforts, probably at additional expenditure to the city of Opa-locka, to hit that deadline. But we are full steam ahead, all hands on deck, and both the finance department, my office, and the budget and risk department. This is a critical time. Not only could we potentially lose our funding should we miss these deadlines, these very, very important critical junctures, but that could have some other ramifications in Tallahassee at the state level. So we've been told regarding the continuation of our city. So that has really been our focus here this last week, considering that we did get a report from Markham that they were unsure based off of the timeline that we were moving on, if we would be able to hit the June 30th deadline. So we believe that we've done everything on the city's end. We're now going to work with Markham and be available to them, our external auditors, should they need any additional information, and stay at the ready. So we're very, very hopeful we'll still make that June 30th deadline. I've authorized for qualified opinions to facilitate that with some identified qualified areas that we agree upon our numbers. So that's where we're at with our financial report.
Okay, any questions to the manager for the financial oversight of the city?
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Williams?
my question, what is preventing us from getting to the deadline and having to go to the June 30th deadline? What are those things that are blocking us?
There were a number of obstacles that we faced that were unexpected. Some of the formats have to be utilized from one year to the next year, and there were formats that were created by the Tri-Merge company that they did not, that are city property, but they, for whatever reason, we don't have them and have not been able to receive them, and would need to recreate those formats in order for Markham to do a comparative analysis on the previous year to the year that we're to the 2020 year to the 2021 year that we're submitting. In addition, there was a CIFA that was maintained and accessed by Tri-Merge that we have not been able to gain access to at the state level. So that will probably render, we've spent an additional period of time trying to get access to that CIFA data and not being successful in doing so. That we're probably one of the areas where I will allow for a qualified opinion in hopes that we can still meet that June 30th deadline.
Thank you. Just a follow-up question. So I heard you mention, I won't say the name, but the company that we used before. So with the amount of money that was paid on a yearly basis to this particular company, you're saying that we cannot, like, they're not legally responsible to support this cause because they've decided to leave their contract and walk away, or although we've paid an extensive amount of money to this company?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions to the manager? Okay, so the only question I have, Mr. Manager, is you talked about us needing help and support. Well, you alluded to it. Is this something that we can bring forth as an emergency item to up the amount that we gave Markham to get more hands on deck so that we can ensure that we push this through?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I believe that I will be able to negotiate an additional payment to them that will be less than $25,000.
Okay. All right. All right. Any other questions to the manager on this topic? All right. To our official board appointments. Do we have any board appointments? Does anybody have any board appointments?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the commission has before it a application that we received from Tanika Ama, who would like to serve on the Planning and Zoning Appeals Board. That is an at-large position, an at-large vacancy that is currently available to be filled.
Which is the,
Planning and zoning. Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion to for Tanika Emma to vacate the at-large seat for the Planning and Zoning Board. I'm so sorry, not vacant. To sit on the Planning and I'm so tired. Planning and Zoning Board.
all right, so the motion has been made. Can we
I'll
get
second.
second by, so motion made by Commissioner Williams, second by Vice Mayor. Mr. Clerk, can we do a roll call?
Commissioner Bass,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor,
Yes,
motion passes 5-0.
okay. All right, I believe that we are at the end of our agenda. So the only, right before we go ahead.
I'm sorry, last meeting did I say that we would like to hear from some of these other boards when it comes to them coming to give us updates as far as, and I know the planning board was probably one of them.
I thought we said at the planning board, we have to ensure that they can come through legal. That wasn't a legal
Okay,
opinion.
well,
But
through
I guess
legal.
we can discuss that.
Mayor.
Are you asking me a question?
Yes, sir.
I
She wants to
I didn't
know
hear
if-
I didn't hear the very end of what you were saying, but if the planning board probably would not be an appropriate
Yeah, I
board
remember
to
you
come
saying
and
that.
report to you, all of the others, I would think would.
Okay.
Okay. And right before we adjourn, I just want to ask everybody to keep former Mayor John Riley in your prayer. He is in the hospital. So let's reach out to him, tell him how much we love him, and pray that his pray strength into his body and complete restoration and healing. So with that being said,
Move to adjourn.
motion to adjourn, moved by Commissioner Williams,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor.
Everybody.
This meeting is adjourned.